bad for Jennifer, but I will say she is a magnet for being scammed. She just had an entire documentary about getting scammed from some other guy, and I don't know, there's just something about Jennifer that she just doesn't have street smarts like that.
Y'all, Jennifer Williams' husband just gave Evelyn her storyline for the next 2 seasons because the court just told him to pay up all the money he's been scamming this whole time. You know how Jennifer's husband, Christian Gold, has been bragging about being a multimillionaire and showering her with diamonds? Well, it turns out that he was putting her in Chanel off other people's backs.
More and more people are coming out talking about he scammed them. This is so embarrassing. This is exactly what I mean when I say do not ever settle in life. I don't care how old you are. First of all, she looks amazing. She does not have to settle. No matter where you are in life, do not settle.
Y'all, when I tell you Jennifer has been scrambling to save her own face and defending this man. And now the courts have decided that Christian is guilty and he has no money to pay. She's realizing that she picked the wrong man for the 3rd time in a row and she's gonna have to pay for it. So let's get into it.
The thing about Jennifer, she continues to repeat the cycle. God continues to send you the same fucking person over and over again, and until you learn whatever that lesson is supposed to be, you know? And she wants to be married and she wants to have a relationship so bad, no matter at what cost. She wanted to marry Tim, you know, and no matter what, I want to be a wife. I want to be a wife, you know, and she's willing to take just the title without really having in your life a great person.
There's gotta be something in her birth chart, because what do you mean Jennifer Williams keeps attracting the bottom of the barrel men just because her husband Christian Gold is proving not to be much different than the other men that she had to run away from? Last year, a couple of people who had invested in Christian's investment business sued him for fraud, alleging that he was running a Ponzi scheme. And if y'all remember, on the last season of Basketball Wives, Jennifer was basically putting out fires everywhere because she was standing 10 toes down defending her man.
So all the victims, the lady that's on disability with 30,000, you don't care about these people?
Christian doesn't even know who that woman is.
Oh, girl, I get it, that's your man or whatever, but sometimes a motherfucker will bring you down. He stole this woman's money. Should he be trading as a felon?
Yeah, he can.
Who told you this? And because I'm not making this up.
Okay.
You're too smart for this.
Even though both Jennifer and Christian addressed the allegations on TV, he never responded to the lawsuit or showed up in court despite being served. Girl, he didn't even bother to get an attorney, and the lawsuit showed that he was defending himself. Since he didn't put up a defense, the court granted him a default judgment stating that the plaintiff's claim of $120,000 was granted as liquidated damages. However, since the case was filed under Georgia's RICO laws, the court is officially ordering Christian to pay $367,625, which is triple the amount that he was sued for. This no longer is an allegation or a rumor that somebody's trying to use against Jennifer. This is a fact, and Christian is going to have to pay up. When it became public that he and Jennifer were going out together and later engaged, he used the clout to present himself as a multi-millionaire investor and trader who knows how to work the system in his favor. And we know that these reality show TV stars are always getting caught up in some scam or another. The Housewives. But there are still a lot of people who trust them because their publicity does give some credibility. And this is something the victim said too, because his public image and personal communication with them was really what got them to believe him and empty their pockets.
There is a lifetime membership fee, $1,500. He does all the trading. When I said the fee, they told me to go to Cash App and buy Bitcoin. I don't know what Bitcoin is, and why did I pay you $1,500 if I have to buy it? So I called to ask questions. I never got another response, but I want my $1,500 back. We're watching youth flaunt your cars, your beautiful diamond rings, this Rolex in front of us. And we were robbed.
But as soon as the payments were made, it was like Christian turned into a different person. When some of the old investors would ask for their money back, Christian would try to talk them into leaving the money in. However, if they insisted, he would pay them back with the money he had gotten from a new investor. This made it appear like the investment was working and made people trust him even more.
So in March, my husband and I looked at each other and we said, something don't sound right. Because if he's got all this money, and I'm going to tell you, our project accounts at this time, I think they were all running, and when we totaled it up in March, it was like $1.1 million equally between all of them. So we're like, there's no way he can't pull from this and give us yes, and I do have receipts of all of this.
But there wasn't any investment or trading going on at all. There were no real accounts, and Christian kept a large chunk of the money to himself and paid them back with false promises. Eventually, Christian stopped communicating. He blocked them and stopped the payments while they watched him flaunt his lifestyle with his wife, Jennifer. Now, if that isn't the definition of a Ponzi scheme, then child, I don't know what is. And it's only when the courts granted judgment against him that Christian even bothered to respond. He hit the courts with the classic "I don't see or hear nothing" tactic. He's really out here saying that the reason he couldn't respond was because of cyberbullying and social media threats, which caused mental distress and fear for his life. So he wasn't afraid for his life when he and Jennifer were talking about it on Basketball Wives. He also asked the court to set aside the judgment, stop the victims from collecting the debt, and let him file a late response. The judge still tried to give him some leg room, stating that if Christian could pay the court costs in 10 days, the default would be open and he would be allowed to make his case. But can you guess what Christian's response was? Yeah, this man did nothing. So on January 12, 2026, the default judgment officially became a final judgment and the victims are now legally entitled to collect. And y'all can imagine how Christian is reacting. He's gone suspiciously silent. No one knows where he is while Jennifer has been the one trying to put up a defense for her man. She posted some texts from people praising Christian's investing skills, and she also made a post saying, "The weapon was formed, but it didn't prosper." Now, if that weapon formed against her is Christian, then it definitely is working because we all know that Christian got no money of his own. So Jennifer is going to have to pay up either way, and she knows it's not a good look for her getting caught up in a fraud case like this, all because of the man she's tied to. And if Jennifer is still debating hearing the facts and knowing that Evelyn is going to have a field day with this news, she might be okay with what Christian is doing and might even be in on it too. At this point, she is a part of the scam. The public is just now hearing the details. She been knew this info. She went along with it. She's a scammer too. He's been nothing but a liability ever since she's been with him. That is too high a price to pay just to have a husband. Shaking my head. He must really be putting it down on her because she is stuck on stupid. Has she not learned anything? She's a scam magnet. But what do you guys think about this? Did Jennifer really have it coming? Sound off in the comments and make sure you hit that like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, baddies.